Freestyle Commerce, the most tightly integrated inventory and order management solution for Magento. I'm Megan Castillo, Product Marketing Manager for Freestyle, and with me today is Joseph Fantozzi, a Senior Solution Specialist here at Datacom. In today's webinar, we'll be highlighting our kitting feature, followed by a full demo of Freestyle and its capabilities. Throughout the presentation, feel free to use your questions panel located on the right-hand side of your screen. Joe or I will get to as many as we can as we're going through the demo, and whatever we can't, we'll finish up at the end. For today's agenda, it's very basic. I'm going to go ahead and start out with a brief background on Datacom, along with some of the benefits of using Freestyle Commerce in conjunction with your Magento store. Then I'll highlight some of the features associated with kitting that Joe will be demonstrating, followed by a full demonstration of the product. And then, like I said, we'll wrap up with any questions that are left over. So Datacom has specialized in providing inventory and order management solutions to solve the business automation needs of retailers, fulfillment centers, and direct marketers for over 25 years. Our founders were retailers themselves, who at the time couldn't find a solution to fit their needs, so they created one. So Datacom is essentially a company started by retailers with solutions for retailers, which is why we have such a great understanding of our customers' needs. We're most widely known for our multi-channel order product, which we refer to as MOM. MOM is our on-premise desktop solution that's still used by thousands of retailers today. The product we're going to show you today is Freestyle Commerce. This is our new cloud-based solution created specifically for those merchants who use Magento for their e-commerce platform. So Freestyle is not only built upon a wealth of industry knowledge and experience, but it's also the most tightly integrated inventory and order management solution for Magento on the market today. So why do you need Freestyle? Magento is a great e-commerce platform for taking orders, however, it wasn't really designed to manage and fulfill them. When processing low order volumes, you might have gotten away with a lot of the manual processes, but as you grow, this often leads to bottlenecks, and this is where Freestyle comes in. Freestyle complements your Magento store by automating a lot of the processes to get your orders out more efficiently, as well as picking up where Magento leaves off in terms of the shipping and vendor management and providing a better way to manage your inventory. Some of these areas include fulfilling orders faster by automating the pick, pack, and ship processes, having the ability to manage inventory better. This is especially important for those of you who are selling across multiple channels, or within context of today's demo, for those of you who are selling kitted products, which can be oftentimes a challenge from an inventory standpoint. We also have integrated shipping to allow you to generate your shipping labels to complete the order process. And you can manage your vendors in Freestyle. And this is important for issuing your purchase orders, both for the general inventory replenishment, as well as for those of you who sell dropship items. In addition, Freestyle offers some areas of business intelligence through our at-a-glance dashboards and reports to give you a real-time look into your business and product performance. And finally, all of this can be done in one solution, so you can leave all those extensions behind and streamline in one solution. In addition, another strength Freestyle has to offer over the other inventory and order management solutions is our tight integration with Magento. And this is because we've created a Magento-specific API, which allows for event-driven push and pull functionality. What I mean by event-driven is that every time, say for example, a customer places an order on your Magento site, Freestyle considers this to be an event and will pull down the order information. Or vice versa, when Freestyle fulfills an order and detracts from your inventory, as well as updating your Magento site. So this way you always have accurate available to sell levels on your customer-facing site. And we'll demonstrate this integration in just a few minutes. But before we do that, let's get into today's feature that Joe will be highlighting in just a minute, and that's kitting, or what Magento refers to as a bundled product. Again, managing a kitted product can often be difficult from an inventory standpoint with Magento alone, but with Freestyle you gain a couple advantages. First off, it's very easy to create and edit your kits. Freestyle gives you the opportunity to switch parts around, you can add, remove items, etc. You can also have an item listed in one or multiple kits, as well as selling it on its own. and all of that inventory is managed in one spot. So you can see the visibility as to which kits this is a part of and whatnot. Managing your inventory automatically. Freestyle automatically pushes the available inventory back into Magento, and this is based off the inventory of the lowest component. And by that, I mean your total available inventory is a combination of the can be assembled plus the pre-assembled, and it's based off your lowest component. So if a product is made up of 2 items and that each require 1 of each, and you only have 10 units of one item and 20 of another, you only have 10 available to sell because that's the number that can be completed. Avoiding shipping mistakes. Freestyle recognizes the kit as a single SKU. From a picking standpoint, all of those items will be listed as line items so that you can be sure that the correct items are picked, but you have the option to display the kit components on the packing slip either as individual items or you can just label as the kit itself. And finally, returns management. Within Freestyle, you can specify if the kit stays together or it's broken down into its components when returned. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Joe, and he's going to demonstrate all this in Freestyle for you.
Thank you, Megan. And for those of you who are already Magento users, some of the screens you're going to see are already familiar to you. As I am logged into the Magento admin dashboard in the back end, I do have a baseball sporting equipment store that we will be creating a kit based on these 3 items. I've already set up 3 items that will build in a kit, and for this purpose, I'm actually going to create the kit in Magento and have it come into Freestyle. And then we'll build the kit, update some things, set up some special price levels. But to get started, when you first log into Freestyle, this would be your home page. You'd obviously have your home logo there. Each one of your employees, if you want, can have their own manager's dashboard, and you can set up, the top year-over-year comparison. You can view sales by location. You can see the different sales trends, sales by different channels if you happen to have multiple Magento stores or even an Amazon store. If there happen to be any orders on review, maybe for security purposes and fraud, you want to make sure that the billing address matches the shipping address. That's something that you're able to flag orders, put them on review, and then allow a manager to approve them, and then they'll get released and then go into the batch for processing. We also support a feature for drop shipping. If there are any open purchase orders that are exceeding, let's say, 1 day past the expected date, you can also set up a dashboard specifically for your top, maybe, customers. You want to know your top customers, who spends the most, who orders the most frequently, and who has the most orders on file. Maybe the products. You might want to know the products that are most often purchased. And then maybe in the warehouse, you want to know the fulfillment. So you can create and modify these. Each individual user will have their own dashboard if you would like. But the way it's all connected is you're basically going to have an extension, the Datacom extension, that will be installed on your Magento store. So here I happen to have my Magento Community Edition. I'll just highlight this and click Edit real quick, and then we'll go in and I'll show you what the setting looks like. I basically name mine Magento Community Edition, and there's a channel ID, and once this loads a little bit, you'll be able to see there's a full path of URL where the extension is actually going to be installed. Most of you, again, are Magento users. You're already familiar with this process. This is covered by our implementation team, so we'll make and help you make the connection between Freestyle and your Magento store. It works either with Magento Community or Magento Enterprise, so you don't have to worry about that. One of the other neat things that we have is the ability to do your shipping mapping. So whatever shipping methods that you enabled on your Magento store will automatically and easily be mapped here in Freestyle, so that when you go to pick, pack, and ship, we have all that data. It's already configured, and you can see I have a number of different pages here of all the different available shipping methods. So that's set up nicely. If there happen to be orders that come from one or more of the different channels, for this particular channel, being my Magento Community Edition, I have a number of orders that you could see. I can click on one of these orders. It'll bring me directly into the order details on the admin page of the Magento, the admin panel within Magento. So it's really nice and easy. You can click it right there. And you'll notice I do have the Magento order channel IDs. If I wanted to have different products appear on different Magento stores, I can have different SKUs, different alias, different names or descriptions, and I can even have different price levels, so that way you can have multiple products, the same item, selling on multiple stores with different information, or kind of like competing with yourself, if you will. Same thing goes with customers. Any customer that places an order on that particular channel, you're easily able to go view them. You can click on it. It'll bring you right to their customer record within Freestyle. And then all throughout the program, there's an activity history, and it shows you pretty much everything. So if you wanted to find out which user of yours changed a price or updated an inventory level or quantity, somebody who deleted a customer for that matter, there is an activity history, and it's going to keep track of customers, orders, stock items, and purchase orders. So pretty much all the areas of your program, everything in regards to the operation of your system. So with that being said, let's take a look at a product that I have here. So we have a baseball mitt, we have a baseball, and we have a baseball bat. So what I'd like to do, to keep things really simple, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to create a new product, and we're going to call it our baseball kit. So I'm going to manage products within my Magento admin, and just going to create a new product. We'll add the product here, and we'll leave it as a simple product for right now. And I'll go ahead and hit continue, and then I'm going to give it a name. We'll call it a baseball kit. And we have a baseball glove, a baseball, and a baseball bat. All right. And then I can have like just a short description. This would be on my product listing page. We'll just call it baseball kit. And my SKU name, same thing. I'll just call it baseball kit. And my weight, because all of the components together, let's say they weigh about, I don't know, 6-7 pounds. We'll say 7 pounds. And the status, I want to make that it is enabled. And I want to go into my pricing. And for the price, when I add up all of those individual components, they equal $365. But I want to give you a special incentive to buy the kit. So let's say I want to make my my normal price $365, but I'm going to put it on special. So we're going to make that I don't know, $340, or let's go lower, $325. We'll make a nice little special discount. Scroll down a little bit further. Tax class, it is taxable goods, and I will say it's available to purchase. As far as my images, I can pick any image that I want. So we'll just browse, and I believe I have a kit item here. We'll just pick anything. Number of different items. We'll use, let's see, something here. Let's go with beach chairs. I know it doesn't go along with baseballs, but we'll use my beach chair, and we'll say open, and we'll upload my file here, and we'll use that as my main image, so that way you guys can follow it, roll over. Okay, so now I have a nice image at the beach, but that's going to represent my baseball kit. So I'm happy with that. And if I go into my inventory, I'm going to leave that at 0. So here, based on what Megan had just mentioned, we're going to look at the total number of kits that we can create based on, and you'll see here we have 0 available based on that particular kit. But most importantly, I want to put it into the category of my sporting goods and my baseball equipment. So we'll put it right there, and I'll put it in my baseball kits. Looking good. And I'll save that here. All right, so that was pretty easy. Nothing really difficult about that. So in just a couple seconds, you'll notice I have a kit, and I'll search base just so you can see this, make it very simple. 4 items should come up: baseball kit, my glove, my Louisville Slugger bat, and my baseball. Now, the quantities that I have here are 125 gloves, I have 2,462 baseball bats, and 373 baseballs. So when this works, and I go back into Freestyle, I should already have the kit there. It should already be set up. I'm going to add the components, and then what's going to happen is it's going to automatically give me a quantity of 125. So that's what we're looking for, because that's the lowest quantity that's available. So from here, we'll just go back into my Freestyle, go into my products, and I'll say OK here. And I should have a baseball kit. There she is, and looking good. All right, so there's my image that I have. And you notice I didn't have to download anything. I didn't have to sync anything, click a button. It didn't take an hour. It doesn't take a half hour. It's pretty much instantaneous. But what I want to do is change. I'm going to click on Edit here and change the status and make that it's a kit. Megan also mentioned what happens if there is a return. Do I leave the kit together, or do I break it into individual components? Being that I sell them separately, I'm going to leave them together. So now I just select my components, and I'm going to put my base, and it should show me my glove, and I'm going to put a quantity of 1 there, and we'll go here, add that one, and I'm going to put my baseball bat, my baseball, we'll add that one, and finally my bat, and we'll add that. Okay, so now that looks good. I'll go ahead and I can save that. So I basically created a kit. Everything's looking good. And I have my components. My availability is it is available for sale. The sales channel that I have, it's available on my Magento Community Edition store. And now my inventory, I have 125 available, just like I said, because that takes the lowest number of the products that are available to make the kit. And Freestyle knows that. The logic in there is already done. Now it shows that I also can assemble those kits. So when we create an order and I process it, I'm going to show you how we'll put down on the pick ticket that you need 1 baseball, 1 baseball bat, 1 glove. So that should all be working just fine, and everything looks good. Now, if I go back into my Magento admin and I hit F5 just to refresh, I should have a quantity of my baseball kit 125. So it's literally instantaneous. It doesn't get any easier than that. So Freestyle and Magento have this synergy where they are bi-directional, just like Megan mentioned, where I can set up a product either in Freestyle and it'll synchronize up into my Magento store, or I can set the product information up in Magento and it'll download instantly and update my Freestyle store. So that on my Freestyle system. So that's fantastic. So now let's just go ahead and create an order. So if I go back here and hit F5 on my page, there is my product, my baseball kit, which is now available for sale. I crossed out the 365. Magento does that automatically for me, and I have it set at $325. I'm loving it. It's all working perfectly. I'm going to click on Add to Cart, and then we'll go ahead and we'll process this order. So I have my kit, and I'm just going to go ahead and proceed to checkout here. Now, I'm already a registered user, so instead of you having to spend time watching me type my name and address, I'm just going to log into my account. And I have my name and address, my shipping information already prepared, so we'll just go ahead and continue. Very simple. And I'm going to choose, we'll use UPS Ground for this one. It's not anything special. Derek Jeter's last day was last night. Based on the rain that it looks like we're going to have today, we'll go ahead and we will continue here. And I'm going to put it on my credit card, and I'll say Joe Fantozzi. And then just close your eyes. Don't put my credit card number on your paper. I'll know if you order Christmas gifts on my card, so I'll find out who you are. And we're going to go right here, and I'll put in my verification code, and then I'll continue, get me a nice validation, and I will place my order. Just like that. And now, thank you very much, Joseph, for your order, 1,202,000. Everything looks good, and I can go ahead and continue shopping. It'll bring me back to my home page, and then I can go continue shopping for sporting goods, electronics, whatever. If I want to do a drop ship order, okay, great. So now when I go back into Freestyle, I told you I don't want to have to click a download. I don't want to have to play with any synchronization buttons. But when I click on order, we had order 1,202,000. So it checks to see, and there's the order, 1,202,000. It's literally instantaneous. It doesn't get any easier. So now we have our order. Now, the only issue that I have is you'll notice over here I have a couple different icons. I have this one that looks like a parachute, and this one it looks like a little like a warehouse, like a garage. I've already created a couple orders prior to this presentation because some of you do smaller volume and you probably process orders one at a time. That's great. Some of you may process a large quantity of orders and you'd like to do it in a batch, and you know how difficult it is to do that in Magento. So what I'm going to do is I'll process this one order just for now, just to print out the paperwork. I want you to see exactly how it's going to look on the pick ticket, the packing slip, and then ultimately on the shipping label. Now, I have the ability in my settings, if I was to go into my setup and my settings, to combine the picking and the packing stage, but in order to just demonstrate what you have the capability to do, I'm going to print both a pick ticket and a packing slip. So if you don't sell like dirty automotive used equipment or parts where there's grease and the guys in the warehouse are walking around and you get fingerprints all over the paperwork, you don't want the customer to get that. In that scenario, if you sell like jewelry and things like that, you can actually combine the picking and packing stage and narrow it and get it down to 2. So it'll just pick, pack, slash, and then ship and print out your label. But for this particular presentation, I'm going to do it as a single order. So we highlight the line item. I'm going to go ahead, I'll click on edit, and once I get into the particular order, it gives me all the details. Joseph Fantozzi, loving it, shows me my bill to information. Again, I have the channel order ID. I can click on this, brings me right back in, can show me all the details that I ordered. It was my kit item, so it brings me right directly into, we have that here. There's my baseball kit. And now I have a shipping ID. Now this is very important because if there was more than one shipment, maybe I had multiple boxes, maybe different items shipped in different boxes, I might have different shipping IDs. And for now, it shows me the status is in the picking stage. So what I'm going to do here is just click on the shipping ID, and now I have my pick ticket, which will allow me to go ahead and print out my form, which is my pick ticket. And you'll notice that it actually details the components, the baseball bat, the baseball, and the baseball glove. It knows it's the kit of the baseball, and that shows up top here, the primary SKU, and then it shows me the area in the warehouse. If I had put in my lot numbers or my pick bin, you'll notice it shows where it is. If I could put like aisle 1, section 2, row 13, bin 4, however you organize your warehouse, it doesn't matter. But as you can see, it's nice and organized here. So I'm just going to go ahead and print out my pick slip, and then I'll say OK. And then it's going to open up a PDF. So in case you wanted to, this is where you can print it. If you want to save a physical or a digital copy, rather, you'll be able to do that. But it's ultimately just opening up a PDF so that if you wanted to, you can save it. If you need to reprint it, you can go ahead and you can do that. So I'll just close that out. The next status will go to, I'll go to the packing stage. And now it knows, here's my order. Okay, great, 7.5 pounds, because I've already established 5 pounds for the box, the bubble wrap, and any other. Maybe I want to throw in a catalog or a free gift or something because I bought the kit. There's my kit, all barcoded out. So I'll go ahead and print out my packing slip. And this is what I'm going to put in the box for the customer. So again, I'll hit OK. And then again, it opens up a PDF for us. So this way, if you again want to keep this for yourself or just print it from here and then just put it right in the box, customer knows that they bought a kit, everybody's happy. So we'll go ahead and close that part out. And then finally, I just click on the shipping stage. Now, it hasn't communicated with UPS yet. So what I need to do is get a shipping label. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say OK. It's going to communicate with UPS. It's going to do a couple things here. Once this is marked as shipped, it's going to print out and connect with UPS in my scenario here. It's going to gather the maxi code. It's going to gather the barcode. And it's going to also fire off an email notifying the customer that the order has successfully shipped, which is fantastic. In addition to that, it's also going to synchronize back up to Magento and show that our order 1,202,000 was completed. So you can see I have all my details here, and this is what I would print out. Okay, great. So with that being said, I go back into my orders, and now I have one less. There's my 4 orders, and order number 202 is gone. Now when I go back in as a customer, or let's look back in the admin here, and I'll go into my sales orders, and order 202 with Joseph Fantozzi, there's my total, and it shows the status is completed, looking good. Now I have one that's pending. This order here, 201, that must have something that is being drop shipped. So I haven't received the drop ship notification yet, and you know, we can process that one later. But once I go in as the customer, so now they're not calling your customer service center. I just log into my account. I can see order number 1,202,000, show the status is complete. I can view my order details, scroll down a little bit, track my order, and then it shows me the UPS tracking details, and it immediately goes out to UPS or FedEx, and then also we're going to have the USPS. We're just waiting on the certification and approval. So now it's obviously I didn't ship this, but you get the idea. I don't have to manually type anything. I don't have to worry about error messages. I don't have to worry about, you know, rekeying data. It's all done, and it's all done in one place. So I could have done the demonstration and created the product kit itself within Freestyle and then uploaded it up into Magento, but I figured it might as well just show you what you're already familiar with and set it up in Magento and have it download into my Freestyle solution. So that order is already done. So I'm happy with that. Next thing I might want to do is you'll notice here I have my order here that's got a couple warehouses. Maybe some of you want to process those orders in a batch instead of one at a time. So in that scenario, I click on my shipments tab, and it still shows me my orders. I can pick and choose which orders I want. I can choose which orders I want to process in a batch. I can select all orders in the batch, and then I'm going to print out a master pick list or print a pick ticket. A master pick list is a little bit different. Depending on your warehouse, you don't want your guys walking around aisle A and then aisle Z and then all the way back to B and then all the way back to, you know, Y and so on. You want to kind of have some type of organization. So a master pick list will say, okay, we have 25 orders and there's 3 baseballs that I need to pick. And then I go through, and instead of going to aisle A, picking 1 baseball for 1 individual order, I can grab all 3 at once. And then I know I can check that off the list and then continue moving on. So we'll go ahead and we'll print out our master pick list, show you what that looks like. Again, it opens up, converts it to a PDF. You can see it has a number of different items. There's the different kits, different charms, total number of items. And then if you want your guy to just put his initials in here, he can do that. So we have all that ready to go. And now we go to the next status, ready to pack. Again, we'll do the exact same thing. And I'll print out our packing slips. So we'll do that. And now this is what we would throw into the different boxes. Loving it. And it works perfectly. And now you can see I can have multiple pages because they're different orders. So the initial master pick ticket showed me all the line items, the items that I needed to pick. And now this packing slip just shows me the different orders that it's associated with. So we can, again, keep copy and then finally go into my shipping stage, highlight that, and then I'm going to print out my shipping labels. And because it's 4 orders, I should have 4 pages that have 4 different shipping labels with the maxi code and the barcode and everything associated with it. So it doesn't get really any easier than this. If you want to process orders one at a time, you can do that. But as your business grows, now you have the capability to process those orders in batches, and it's not uncommon that people want to do that. So let's take a look and see while that's going ahead and printing if I have any questions so far. No questions so far. Okay, excellent. That must mean that I'm doing a really good job on my online demo. Fantastic. So here's my one order, and I'll just highlight it, go down. There's my second box label, third box label, and then my fourth box label. Everything looks great. So it's already done. Now, one of the other cool things I want to mention is that we link to your shipping carrier, UPS account, for calculating the shipping. So there's a lot of programs out there that require you to maybe use a different alternative program. So we have the ability of linking directly to your shipping UPS, like your negotiated rates, for instance. However, some of our customers have requested the ability to integrate with ShipWorks, and we also have that capability. So when the orders are processed, if you prefer, like you're doing high volume with really large items, pallets, and you're doing the 3PL, you might want to transfer those orders over to, especially international orders, over to like a ShipWorks, and then you can do that. With the essence of time, I'm not going to go do a whole demo of how to process an order and get that transferred into ShipWorks. ShipWorks happens to be a desktop solution that you would install locally, and some of our users already have that in place, and we are in talks and working with a couple other shipping programs that are browser-based, that are all web-based, so you have the capability to do that. So just looking back at my orders, I don't have any more to process. There may be a couple that I need to send and create purchase orders. So if I go in here on the inventory, I can go into my purchase orders. There should be any that I submitted earlier. No, I already closed them out. So those are done. Looking at all my different customers, we'll pick on myself. We'll look at Joe and get into his record. Every program you look at is going to be able to have the customer's name, address, city, state, SIP. But now it shows you all of his order history. It's going to show you the billing address. You can have multiple addresses. Maybe you want to ship something as a gift. So maybe I ship to my brother Rob. Different addresses for maybe different contacts. Everybody has different numbers, the office line, the home phone, the cell phone, so you can keep track of that. And of course, everybody has 15, 20 different email addresses today, so you can keep track of all those. And if it's a company, you might want to put in a default website. We are enhancing Freestyle to support the ability to take phone orders right into the system. So that's a new enhancement that's actually being worked on right now. We're making it based on feedback from our existing users. So you have that capability. You can attach files, which is pretty neat. And the beauty of it is when you look at the different products, and we'll just go back to my baseball kit, and we'll just take a look at my inventory, which is most important. I want to show you that now there's 124 available, and there's none committed because I already processed that order, and I don't have to pre-assemble anything because they're already ready to go. So it's all done. I have a supplier. You'll be able to do drop ship purchase orders, and those are automatically set up. You can customize the notice that will be generated and sent over to your supplier. So those are very easy to configure right within the settings in Freestyle. If you like I mentioned earlier, there's that order review. We're adding a whole bunch of cool things in here for, again, PCI compliance, just to protect you so that orders don't get shipped out to the wrong address, for whatever. But I don't happen to have any orders on review. It's a different setting that you can put on. There's the bins, and we also support multiple warehouses. So I do have multiple warehouses within my system where I have my East Coast warehouse and West Coast warehouse. Now what's cool is you can have one item, an inventory item, that's available in both locations. You may have an item that only ships in one location. We set it up so that if you want, you can say, okay, orders from this specific geographic location will always process from this specific warehouse. So that's something that we have. Let's say you have 10 units in your East Coast warehouse and 15 units in your West Coast warehouse. Well, Maybe you don't want to deplete all 10 out of your East Coast warehouse if somebody orders 13, and instead you want to override it. You want to process that order from the West Coast warehouse, even though they're located on the East Coast, like in Connecticut, for instance. You can actually override that and process that order, and they'll all ship from our California or Beverly Hills warehouse, all 13, and then they'll have the 3 remaining. So there's a lot of neat things you can do that with multiple bin locations. You can have a returns bin. You can set bin priorities. You can set bin expiration dates. So for those of you that sell perishable products, or even items that have like dietary supplements or nutraceuticals, this is really great for that purpose. And in the event that you take a return, maybe you want to set up an RMA, you're able to create an RMA, and that way your warehouse person should be expecting that, and then you can go ahead and receive that inventory back in, and you can determine whether or not you want to refund them based on the shipping charge or whatnot. We do have a whole bunch of standard reports that are built in here based on customer, the listing, based on the contact information, the location, revenue, and profit are built in. So this is in addition to the dashboard, and this keeps updating every build. And being that Freestyle is multi-tenant, every user gets the same build. So there may be features you may use, there may be features that you may not use. But the good news is that as we keep enhancing it, and I want to say every month there's a new build release, usually in the middle of the night so it doesn't interfere with anybody's orders or minimal interference. We have the ability to add new features. There's back order reports, there's low-level reports, and if you want to run your master inventory, you can see that. And like I mentioned, if there was any inventory adjustments, if somebody went in and said, okay, there's 100 and you have to worry about somebody, with sticky fingers stealing some of your inventory, you're able to see who it was, when they did it, at what time, with their user profile, and then you'll be able to also run this report right here under inventory. But that basically covers Freestyle. I mean, there's a lot of other cool things. We do have a direct link to Amazon. Unfortunately, Amazon doesn't allow you to have a sandbox account. Our development team is working on that. So when we do have the capability, I'll be glad to set up a one-on-one demonstration with you, and we'll be able to create some products in Freestyle and then upload them directly to Amazon. There's no limit to the number of stores that you can have with Magento, and then of course with the Amazon store. The only thing you want to just note is that it does not work. Freestyle does not connect with Magento Go, which they are no longer supporting anyway. Magento Go does not allow any third-party extensions to be installed. So that's one of the things that we do. And the pricing for Freestyle is really nice. It's based on a monthly hosting, based on the number of user licenses that you have. We have a minimal implementation fee that you would pay half up front, and then once your implementation is completed, you work with our senior engineers here. They'll do the connections, get you up and running. You're able to process orders, and then you sign off on it, and then that payment would go through, and then beginning the third month, the fourth month technically, is when you would get charged. It's like $99 per month per user. So most people are starting with between 5 and 15 users, which is fantastic, and we're looking forward to it. And this is the future of Datacom. So if you're looking for an order management system that is in the cloud and that is seamless and direct connection to your Magento store, this is the solution for you. I know there's other competitors out there, but they don't have a 25-year history. We mastered the art of order taking in our MOM, multi-channel order manager solution, and we're building the features that our customers want and use on a regular basis with MOM into Freestyle. So there's companies that may have started up, there's companies that may be in business 4 or 5 years, and they're just trying to either ride on the coattails or look at new features that they think might be important, but they don't know. They don't have the history that we have. So again, being very well known with the inventory and order management and the features that we have built in, Freestyle is the way to go. And it's very inexpensive and it's easy to implement. So with that, I'll jump back into our PowerPoint, get you Megan's direct contact information. You can see here up on the screen. If you have any questions, you can reach Megan, megan.c@datacom.com. Her phone number, 1-800-858-3666, extension 258. She's also capable of giving you access to a free Freestyle storefront where you can get your hands in and do, I guess, your own evaluation of it. So it's not a demo like what we just have done. It's up to you. You get in, you can kind of play around with it. You create your own stock items. You can, build your own bins, create your own suppliers and such. And, again, my name is Joseph Antozzi. You can reach me at extension 245, and my email is just joe.f, J-O-E.F as in football, @datacom.com.
Thank you, Joe. And yes, as Joe mentioned, if you would like to reach out to me, I can definitely set you up with a free trial so you can kind of get access to Freestyle and just play around a little bit. We can also do a one-on-one demo. I mean, today's demo was a very high-level overview where Joe, focused on a lot of the major features in Freestyle, but if there's any specific situations to your current processes or your needs, we can always connect and do a one-on-one and kind of take you through your daily flow as it is.
We do have quite a few questions that are coming in, and we'll start at the top. I won't say who asked the question, but some of these are really good. Will you be emailing a link out of the recording of this webinar? Most certainly. We'll get you a link. Do you also link to FedEx? Does this label get printed automatically? UPS, FedEx, and the Post Office. The Post Office and UPS rather have already approved our certification. The last part is just the 30 days, I believe, of waiting for them to approve the certification that we're waiting on. So yes, we will be printing labels for FedEx automatically, just like we did with in my demo with UPS. Can you touch on splitting an order to use multiple warehouses? For example, 5 items are ordered from warehouse 1 and 3 in stock, but warehouse 2 has 4. Hopefully I answered that question, Pete, but there is the way, and I wanted to show you in my demo. I can create an order. I just have to look at my inventory and my bins. Let's see here, which warehouse. So I have an item, East Coast, East Coast, East Coast, and then go to page 2, and let's see, I have a West Coast. Okay, so my baseball I have from my West Coast bin. The point of it is yes, you can have items shipping from each location if you want. So you can have an item, or an order rather, that has a few items that are shipping from your East Coast warehouse and then a few items that are shipping from your West Coast warehouse. So that most certainly you can do. Or you can override it, like I said. So that's definitely something you can do. Yeah, you can reach me privately, and we'll go over those direct questions. If you have a unique situation, no problem. I know that there are some things that you want to go through. I remember speaking with you the other day. Can you send invoices and have people pay online? Within Magento or Amazon, the payments are already going to be paid. So when the order gets imported into Freestyle, they're going to be prepaid by the sales channel. So you don't have to worry about the payment method or the payment within Freestyle. Those will already be prepaid, and so those payments will be paid online. Do I know the payment? Do I know the pricing for Magento? Honestly, I know the Community Edition is free. Enterprise, I believe, if you really need those capabilities, could start at $15,000 to $16,000 for the core base store, and then you have to work with a developer. They have a number of them, like Classy Llama did the 3M, the people that make the tape and post-it notes. Their website, I met them at the Magento Imagine conference this year in Las Vegas just a couple months ago. And there's a number of other developers that we can get you in touch with, like the Unleaded group. So I'll be glad to send you that information. Can you, let's see, yep, we covered that one. What's the difference between MOM and Freestyle? Well, major difference is MOM is a desktop solution that you would install locally. Freestyle is a cloud-based solution that is that's accessible via a web browser, and you don't have to install any database and have to manage any backups on your own. We take care of it. It's all taken and managed on Amazon web servers. There's a tremendous difference between Freestyle and MOM. I mean, again, MOM's been around for over 25 years, so there's a lot of features that are in there, like club membership, points and rewards, and the loyalty program that we have that are already in MOM. But again, those are the features that we know people want, and those will gradually be incorporated into Freestyle. You definitely want access to a Freestyle demo. Excellent. So we'll get that over to you, no problem. And how do you send a pic to the warehouse? The warehouse user is just going to basically log in. So they'll be able to print out any of the paperwork from wherever. You can log in if you're on vacation in Bermuda. If you have an internet connection, you have access to Freestyle. So if you want to print out that paperwork from the printer that's right there, you can do that. If you want your guys in a separate location, they'll be able to do that. Yes, we covered the link to the webinar. What is Community Edition of Magento? It's just basically their free open source version that you can download if you go to Magento.com. I don't want to go through Amazon. Okay, so we can cover that. Yeah, the rest are some specific questions. Just reach out to us. With Megan's contact information, we'll get you all the details. And there was a couple other ones that we can have. Yes, so thank you all for attending. Any questions that were unanswered, we will get a list of all of the attendees and your questions, so we'll make sure that we get back in touch with you, and we'll make sure we get those answers. So again, thank you so much for your attendance and for joining. We really appreciate all of you spending the time with us, and I want to look forward to hearing back from you and getting you to join the Freestyle community and the family and working with us and moving forward. So with that, have a fantastic day, and Megan and I will look forward to talking with you soon.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us.